Hi everybody, a very warm welcome to this very brief online presentation. Please stay with us for the next 10 minutes or so as we share some school improvement priorities. So COVID has been such a huge challenge and distraction over the last couple of years, but we want the focus to shift from not just keeping the school open and running, but making things the very best they can be. As a staff, we know that St Mary's is blessed with amazing children and wonderful supportive families who make our school community really special. Our staff team are absolutely dedicated to making sure the children get the best outcomes. But we know that we can make St Mary's even better. We have a clear plan and vision for that, and we'd like to share it with you through this short presentation. We also feel it's really important that we communicate with parents about what we're trying to achieve so that you can work with us. We know we can achieve so much more when we work in partnership, and know how important it is to keep you all involved and informed. It's important to share our priorities and for parents to be clear about what it is we're focusing on as a school in order to continue to improve what we offer and provide for the children at school. Every year the leadership team sets out these priorities, and with the input and help of the governing board, we share them across the school community. This is what we're focusing on this year.
We feel it's really important at St Mary's that our values, vision and mission as a school are both communicated clearly and shared widely. Our values are the anchor point for all that we set out to achieve. They guide and inform how we do things. And our vision is based on our values and sets out what we want our children to have achieved by the time they leave St Mary's. And our mission is our why. It's what we exist to do. We want to make sure that our values, vision and mission are all clearly and widely shared. As a staff, leadership team and governing board, we're this year looking at exactly what these are and how we can communicate them effectively across our whole school community. We'll be using the feedback from the recent parent survey alongside the work we've done as a governing board and staff team to help us with this, and we'll keep you updated and share this work with you once complete.
Following the bonkers times that we've all been through, one of the things that's really important to us at St Mary's going forward is to develop a wellbeing programme, and that's to support the mental health of the children, the staff and the parents. One of the reasons that we want to do this is because it's quite tricky at the moment to engage with other mental health professionals. Waiting lists are long and thresholds are high, so we feel that our first port of call should be to support each other as a community. One of the ideas that we have is to set up a support group for parents of children with special educational needs. But if you've got any ideas as to how we can support you as parents or anything that the children would benefit from, then please do let us know.
My name is Amy Nesbitt and I will be leading on our school development target around marking and feedback. How will we make sure that we develop a school-wide strategy to provide clear and consistent feedback for all children, which impacts learning and accelerates progress and attainment? Well, first of all, we need to think what our aims are for marking and feedback for children. We believe that feedback should show that we value children's work and encourage them to do the same, boost self-esteem through use of praise and encouragement, give a clear general picture of how far children have come in their learning and what their next steps are, offer them specific information on the extent to which they have met the lesson objective, promote self-assessment whereby children can recognise their difficulties and are encouraged to accept guidance from others, gauge their understanding and identify any misconceptions, provide a basis both for summative and for formative assessment to inform individual tracking of progress, and to provide ongoing assessment that will inform future lesson planning. Assessment is something that happens every day continuously within lessons and after lessons. At St Mary's, we believe that marking and feedback should be meaningful, manageable and motivating. We like to call it the 3 M's. So most marking and feedback will occur within the lessons. We trust the professional judgment of teachers to plan for the most appropriate type of feedback depending on the lesson. Teachers will use a range of feedback. they may use immediate feedback within the lesson. This will include looking at books and giving verbal feedback, walking around as the children are working and making comments within their books to show their next step within that lesson. It can also redirect the focus of teaching. So if a teacher has noticed that there is a common misconception through walking around and looking at work, or gauging the level of understanding within their teaching activities, they then may choose to focus on that objective within the lesson. It also will praise effort and contributions as soon as they occur. We also have catch-up feedback. So this will take place after the lesson with a group or individuals who we have noticed have not quite understood the learning objective. It may be that the teacher will work with that group or child that afternoon to ensure that they have understood the learning, ready to move on with the rest of the children the next day. We also use the work produced in the lesson to think about what we will do in our next lesson. So teachers will use a feedback grid when they are looking at the books and the work that has been completed. They will comment on any common strengths of the class and common misconceptions, and they will then use this to inform what they will cover the next lesson and make sure that they address any misconceptions with the whole class or with the group that have not quite understood the main learning. This may also involve some peer support or support from a teaching assistant. Teachers will start with the assumption that no pupil actually needs much help to edit their work, aside from scaffolding and modelling what they've already done in the lesson. So, to this end, teachers will provide children with examples of work that have common misconceptions and show them how we would edit these, and that will then be a model for children to do this within their own work. We continually show them examples of good work that we expect to see linked to the learning intentions, and also of work with anonymised errors to highlight the expectations of how we would edit these. We use pink and green highlighters within the lesson and after the lesson to highlight things that the children have done well in pink and things that they could improve in green. And the children can also use these to peer or self-assess. Children will respond to the teacher's verbal or written comments with a purple pen to show that they have listened to what the teacher has said and are using that to improve their work. Teachers will continuously be looking for progress over time within the books. Teachers will be sharing best practice of how to use this new marking and feedback policy to move children's learning forward.
Behaviour at St Mary's is good. Like every school, we have our challenges, but these are dealt with fairly and consistently. We recently ran 2 open days for new parents, and the feedback was overwhelmingly positive as our Year 6 children showed them around. Our visitors saw calm and engaged children who respect the staff and enjoy their learning. Our local MP and our Richmond School Improvement Partner have also recently commended the attitude and the behaviour of the children they saw during their recent visits. But we recognise that there's always room for improvement, and over the last 2 years we've had some significant and extreme challenges around mental health and well-being as a part of the pandemic, which has had a knock-on effect in some children's behaviour. This year we've worked on making our expectations both simple and clear for all the children. Our expectations can be summarised in 3 words: ready, respectful and responsible. We constantly refer to the 3 R's and reinforce our expectations whenever we can. There are clear consequences for poor choices as well as rewards for good choices. We use the zones of regulation to help children articulate and express how they're feeling. We place a high value on pastoral care, and we have an emotional literacy support assistant, or ELSA, who runs sessions one-to-one and in groups every afternoon. These are for children with issues around confidence, self-esteem, focus and concentration, anxiety, as well as all manner of other mental health and well-being needs. There's also a quiet club at lunchtimes for those who are anxious on the playground. This, with our focus on the spiritual development of the children, explored through our daily collective worship, emphasises the importance of inward attitudes, not just external behaviours. We want to see children treating others as they would wish to be treated and showing tolerance, respect and love for all.
My name's Amy Nesbitt and I'll be leading on our target about writing. So how will we meet our target of ensuring that writing across all subjects reflects the accuracy and quality required to at least meet the expectation in each year group? Well, first and foremost, it's important that children are given an exciting stimulus to write about. Class teachers plan learning around a theme each half term and use high quality text linked to this theme to inspire the children. The writing opportunities are relevant and purposeful, which in turn encourages the children to write to their best ability. It's also important that teachers encourage children to take pride in their work. We make sure that there are ample opportunities for writing across the curriculum, and we expect writing in all subjects to be the same standard as it would be in English books. Teachers will make sure that children have a thorough understanding of the grammar rules and terminology for their year group by teaching grammar as a subject each week, as well as building it into daily lessons as starters and quick recap activities. Not only will they be recapping on grammar from their own year group, but also from previous year groups to make sure the children do not forget these important objectives. They will make sure to consolidate all of these rules so that the children are confident in applying them. Teachers will use the Letters and Sounds Phonics programme in reception and Year 1 to teach phonics and make sure that all children are able to apply these sounds to their writing. In Year 2 upwards, we use Read, Write, Ink spelling to teach all spelling rules, and we encourage the children to apply these into their written work to meet the expected standard of their year group. These are taught daily and also set as homework to ensure that the rules are embedded and applied in independent writing. Teachers will continually share good examples of writing with their class using a What a Good One Looks Like board so that expectations are clear to the children. They will also display important grammar and spelling rules to remind the children of key learning. Any children not making progress or not on track to meet the expected requirements for writing in their year group will be focused on by the class teacher and will also attend regular intervention groups to help them to catch up.
The early years and Key Stage 1 team made the decision to switch phonics schemes in the second half of the spring term of 2021. There were a few reasons for this. Firstly, it enabled us to make guided reading part of the curriculum for Year 2, ensuring that every child has an opportunity to read to a teacher each week and build on their fluency and reading comprehension skills while reading in a small group. Because the Letters and Sounds lessons are more concise, it also allows us more time for delivering high-quality English lessons, separate from phonics, which was particularly important after lockdown and long periods of home learning, and ensures that we can offer a broad and inspiring curriculum which meets the needs of the children. Switching to Letters and Sounds means that we are introducing new sounds at a rate of 4 each week, whilst continuously revising previously taught sounds. This has led to children in reception being able to take home reading books containing words they can now decode from very early on in the year. The scheme introduces sounds in phases, with Phase 2, 3 and 4 taught in reception and Phase 5 in Year 1. Autumn term assessment data for Year 1 children has shown that the average sound recognition score for the phases taught so far has increased from 67% in September to 88% when the children were retested in December. We continue to support children along their reading journey as they move into Year 2, and any children who are still acquiring the Phase 5 sounds continue to receive daily phonics lessons. Feedback from the teachers has been very positive so far, particularly with regards to the ongoing repetition of previous sounds alongside the introduction of new ones, allowing the journey to word reading to happen at a much quicker pace.
This year, St Mary's have adopted a new scheme for the school, named Power Maths. The reason for choosing this was to promote more reasoning and problem-solving opportunities for all pupils, which was a target for us since our last Ofsted. Power Maths is a UK curriculum mastery programme designed to spark curiosity and excitement and nurture confidence in maths. It has been written by leading mastery experts in the UK and China and is recommended by the UK's Department for Education. It is built around a child-centred lesson design that models and embeds a growth mindset approach to maths and focuses on helping all children to build a deep understanding of maths concepts through reasoning and problem solving. This year, our main focuses in maths were to ensure that this new scheme was embedded within our school and that teachers clearly understood the structure behind each lesson and pedagogy behind this new teaching model. We also wanted to ensure that there were consistently high-quality opportunities for pupils, especially the most able pupils in all year groups. In order to achieve this, there have been termly staff training meetings where we supported and trained staff in using and embedding this new scheme. Half-termly monitoring activities, including learning walks and book looks, are being carried out to highlight our strengths and also areas to improve as a school. I've also been liaising closely with our lead school improvement advisor for mathematics for additional support and guidance. Just as prescribed in the national curriculum, the goal of Power Maths is never to accelerate through a topic, but rather to gain a clear, deep and broad understanding of mathematical concepts. Through the breadth and depth of the questioning and activities in Power Maths, this scheme is appropriate to challenge our most able pupils, whilst also ensuring a mastery approach for all, where everyone can succeed in maths.
Thanks everyone for listening. We hope that was really helpful and useful. And we hope that it's clear that there remains huge potential to make our school even better for all our children. And we're really passionately ambitious and aspirational for our children at St Mary's and would love to continue to build a school community which gives them the very best start in their education. As sadly, our ability to do this has and will continue to be severely hindered by a lack of funding. We're reliant on government funding for our school and don't receive any additional funding from any other source other than what we generate through our lettings. We're not funded in any way by the church, and as a one-form entry school, we've become particularly vulnerable to school funding arrangements over the last years, meaning that we don't receive enough income necessarily to provide everything we know the children need. Pressure on school finances continues to increase, and we need important extra funding in more areas. We need your help to ensure that we can continue to build our very special school community. Most schools now have a school development fund, which contributes towards the day-to-day running of the school. Regular voluntary donations ensure that we can continue to provide opportunities that will otherwise not be affordable in terms of the resources available to the school. We know that there are huge demands on household finances, and we very much appreciate the generosity of our parent community. But just £5 a month or £10 a half term per child would make such a huge difference. Of course, you'd be welcome to give more than this if you wish to, and donations are entirely voluntary. But we ask all families to consider whether they can help. Every gift, regardless of size, will make a difference, and we're enormously thankful to the families who already contribute to the school fund. And this fund has already supported improvements to the fabric of our school and to the resources. We'd ask you all if you can help to continue to make St Mary's the very best it can be. Thanks for listening.